presentation of Zoom is made possible in part by a grant from General Foods Corporation.
I'm Tishy. I'm Red. I'm Kate. I'm Norman. I'm Tracy. I'm Tommy. I'm Carmen. I'm David. I'm Andre. Who are you? What do you do? How are you? Let's hear from you. We need you. So won't you zoom, 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 I zoom. Come on and zoom, I zoom, I zoom, I zoom. Come on, give it a try. We're gonna show you just why. We're gonna teach you to fly high. Come on and zoom.
This program is funded by grants from McDonald's Corporation and McDonald's Restaurants Fund, and by public television stations, the Ford Foundation, and the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
When I woke up in the morning, I practically flew out of bed. This was the day I had been waiting for. All summer long, I had worked at odd jobs to buy one special thing, a parachute. I zoomed down the street to McGurk's Army-Navy surplus store. As I went in the door, I blurted, "I want that parachute. You know, model number 2YZ5WX39J6?
Very good, sir. Would you like to try it on here?
Oh, she's a million laughs. And with that, I picked up my package and left. On the bus ride home, my friend said,
There's a really high cliff, a couple of miles away from your house. You can jump off that.
"That sounds like a good way to test my parachute. I'll jump off a cliff." I was so occupied with my thoughts that I didn't notice the huge lady taking up most of the aisle. I picked up what I thought was my package and scrambled off the bus. Jumping off the cliff, I thought, this is going to be fun. I was wrong. When I pulled the cord, out of my backpack popped not a parachute, but a size 82 girdle. I'm writing this on the way down. I have 5,000, 4,000, 3,000.
Dear, why do elephants have wrinkles? Have you ever tried to iron an elephant? Why, no.
We're gonna roll up the barrel and find out what's inside today.
Here's a game sent in by Cassandra Davis of Chicago, Illinois. One player puts on a pair of heavy mittens and then stands in the middle of the other people and blindfolds himself. When he claps, all the people move around him, and when he claps the second time, all the people have to stop. Then he approaches the person the closest to him and tries to guess who it is by feeling his face and head. He has 3 chances to guess.
Wrong?
Yeah.
Is it wrong or right?
Wrong.
Don't tell him. I mean, don't tell her.
Norman. Ah, right.
Okay, let me try it.
Oh, I feel like going to it because you're
Let me try it. Let me try it.
Wait, wait, sorry.
Put it on.
Yeah.
I can't see.
You're not be able to say.
See. I can see through it.
Can you do it now?
Yeah, tighten it.
She's going to.
How's that? Yeah, that's good.
She can see, that means no.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Hey, you can see. My eyes
She
are closed.
can't, no.
My eyes are closed. I won't cheat.
Here, open your hand. Put Okay. Okay.
Okay, clap. Clap.
No, Andre.
Hi,
No.
Red.
No.
Tracy.
You're wrong, Andre. It's Kyrie.
Let me try it. David, what did the dirt say when it started to rain?
I don't really know. What?
If this keeps up, my name will be Mud.
Once upon a time, there was a little boy who looked up in the sky and said, "The stars look so pretty, and I think I will go up in the sky and get the stars, and put them in a secret box and keep them." First, he went up in an airplane to peel them off the sky. They were just like stickers, so they came off easily. He moved fast so the people in the town below would not see him. The moon was too big and wouldn't fit in the box, so he left it. And he put the stars in his cellar in a secret place. He dug up some bricks and put them there in a hole underneath, so the police wouldn't find them. Then the moon was left up there, and it was lonely and sad, because the stars weren't there, and it was all dark and scary, and there were no twinkling friends. Then what happened in the night was that the people looked up in the sky and saw all the stars were taken, and they said, "Oh, what happened to the stars? Someone stole them?" They were afraid. It was all dark and lonely and scary for them. All they had was a little bit of light from the moon. And then the robber boy saw that. And when the people in town went to sleep, he went up in the airplane. He put all the stars back in the sky because he thought that the people wanted them to look at. He didn't think they should belong to one person anymore. They belonged to everybody. When the people saw them back, they had a big celebration with sparklers and firecrackers, roast chicken and berries, chocolate cake, and a circus, and music on a big speaker. Then they all danced under the stars until they were very, very tired. Then they went home to bed and had many sweet dreams.
Hey, how come the Statue of Liberty stands in New York Harbor? Because you can't sit down?
How's your new math teacher?
No, not too hot.
The real reason I don't just tell people that I dance is because they would laugh. Most boys would laugh because they think of it as a sissy thing. Put on tights and go out and dance and stuff. And I don't really think that it is a sissy thing because, and really, it's a hard thing to do everything right. There was a man, he's a very famous dancer now, named Edward Valella, and he was a very strong and muscular man who was offered a contract in football, and he turned it down. And the coach asked him why he turned it down, and he said he found something much, much harder: ballet. I take ballet at the School of American Ballet in New York. I dance about 2 hours a day, 6 days a week.
Arm down with your shoulders down. Keep the elbow up. 1.
I wear ballet slippers because they hold the floor better than a piece of cloth. If I just stay in my tights, which I also wear so that the teacher can see my muscles move, and like if she wants my leg to be in a certain place, she can put it there because she can see my whole leg, which maybe she couldn't see if I was wearing really baggy pants or something.
Going. Photograph. And
When we get into a classroom, we work out on the bar. This is mainly for stretching and doing things like this. Then we'll get into more like technique, such as the arms and foot placement. Usually first what we do is something called a plie. And a plie, all it is turning your feet outwards and just bending your knees and going down with your back straight and moving your knees over your feet. This stretches your thighs and in the back of your knee when you lift up if you don't hold on the bar and pull up with the arms. And there are slow lifts of the leg. It's called dégagé. This strengthens mostly your thigh muscles. Kicking in soccer is a lot like kicking in ballet.
Okay, come on.
It doesn't make me or anyone else a sissy because it helps me in everything else I do. It builds up my muscles for doing kickball and soccer and football and baseball.
Come on, Sean.
7, 8, around 1, arm behind your back, Sean. 3, 4, step arm side. 6, now bow. 7, hold. 8. That's right. 6, step and face your partner. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your arms nicely side, Sean. 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right now, it's gotten me all the way up to a lead role in The Nutcracker, which is the prince. And Nutcracker was written in the 1800s by Tchaikovsky. Well, I don't want to make ballet a career in itself, not just be a ballet dancer. It's not like it wasn't any fun. It's fun to dance. I think it's fun to dance.
Zoom will resume after this important message. Habai Frabins, Heber Abai Heber something David Yabu, Chabas Cabin Gabu Abadabo. Abif Yabu Eben Yabu Daba, Guabun Tabu Baby Frabins, Fobo Yabu Daba, Trabai, Frabis Gabi Frabu Tavis, Daba Tabis Tabis, Daba Babis Gabit, Daba Abis, Abinaba Habo Waberld. Jabas Tobel Dabas Abo Abinaba Aber, Eben Yabu Daba, Wabble Kamam Abba Rabinabbing. Babadabu, Happy Fabadabu, Babadabu. Oh well, now back to Zoom. Here are some wishes sent to us by the kids at the Highland School in Naperville, Illinois. I wish I wore a stamp that went all over the world. I wish I had Disneyland in my front yard and Disney World in my back. I wish I were a witch. I wish I had a flying chimpanzee so I could jump on his back and fly. I wish I were the John Hancock building. What do you guys wish?
Well, one time I made a wish. Well, you know how like you wish for the tooth fairy to come around?
Yeah,
'Cause I
my
had
brother
lost
got
all
a
my
buck
tooth.
for a little dinky tooth like that.
Well, I wished for $2. I got it.
Some of my wishes that I made came true.
Some of mine sometimes come true.
Some of mine came true, but I don't even remember what they were.
Like some of my wishes, were big wishes, and they sort of came true. I said to myself, I wish that we'd get a big house sometime, and we got a big house, and then before we got the big house, my father was talking about getting a neat dog, a Doberman, and I kept saying, and sometimes my father fools around with me, and I thought he was fooling around. I said, oh, I wish that he wasn't fooling around. I wish that we really would get it. So one night he goes out and he comes, and I said, where's Dad going?
my mother said, "Oh, you went to the store," and I said, "But the store's that way, and you went that way, right?" And so he came back, and then he had a little Doberman pup with him.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
I wish that year 2000 there will be no pollution.
Yeah.
And
I wish
everything
there
will
were
be
no pollution
modernized and it'll be just fantastically great.
I wish it was all peace. I wouldn't wish that we, like we're perfect, but I just wish we had all peace.
A long time ago in a faraway kingdom there lived a strange people. What was strange about them was that the rich upper class always ate hot dogs for every single meal. For breakfast they had poached hot dogs.
Hey, Guinevere, do we have any more mustard?
For lunch they had cream of hot dog soup.
Boy, this is hot.
Low on it, dear.
And for dinner they had roast hot dog with hot dog a la mode for dessert.
Dinner at last. I'm so hungry I could faint.
But the poor people in the village couldn't eat the delicious hot dogs because all of them went to feed the rich people. So the poor people had nothing but bread to eat.
Bread here. Bread. Fresh bread. Get your fresh bread here.
To make the bread look like the hot dogs they longed for, the poor people shaped it into long, thin rolls.
Daddy, please help me roll mine tighter.
All right, pass it over.
But nothing, of course, could make the rolls taste like the real thing. At night, in the food warehouse, when all the people were asleep, the hot dogs and rolls would talk to each other.
Hey, little roll.
You're crummy.
No skinny hot dog's gonna call me crummy.
Well, as you can see, the hot dogs thought they were much better than the rolls because they were loved by the rich people. The rolls got mad and started to argue. The argument got worse and worse, and then it turned into an uproarious fight. Finally, it was every hot dog and roll for himself, and a fight to the finish. When the people in the kingdom heard the commotion, they raced to the warehouse.
What's happening?
My, oh my, what's going on here?
Mommy, what's making all the noise?
When they got there, what a mess they saw. Hot dogs and rolls all mixed together. While everyone just stood there shocked, a little boy picked up one of the hot dogs and a roll and took a bite.
Wow, this is delicious.
He shouted. So everyone decided to try one, and they all loved them.
Try it. You'll like it.
He's right. It's delicious.
It's great.
So from then on, all the people in the kingdom, rich and poor, got to eat hot dogs in rolls. Just think of it, a hot dog in a roll.
I'll never eat anything else.
And the moral of the story is, if you haven't already guessed, when you cooperate, things work out better.
Hey, Harvey, how come Mrs. Jones went outside with her purse open?
Personally, I don't know.
Because she expected some change in the weather.
McAllister Brothers calling 794.
Brothers, you'll have the same payroll from quarantine to birth 94.
Sometimes on weekends, my brother George and I get to go on tugboats in New York Harbor to help out the crew.
Berth 90, is that
My
you said?
father
Berth
is the dispatcher for the tugboat company. He tells the captains their assignment on the radio. Most of the time, the tug is always working. The tug pulls in ships, docks them, and it helps ships refuel. Night and day, the two crews relieve each other. Sometimes when we're on board, we go on the stern with the deckhand, and he shows us how to hold the rope, how to throw it, and shows us how to make monkey fists. A monkey fist is a big knot with a bolt in it. And they make it really hard, so it's heavy, and you could throw it on a ship.
Oh, good morning, Billy.
Glad you're up here. I need your help. We have an assignment this morning to go down, meet this ship you see just beyond the Verrazano Bridge. Her name is the San Pedro. Now, while I'm doing that, would you take command of this vessel? Take the wheel, sir. Steady as you go. Give her a little more speed on the engine.
We go up alongside the ship, and then they put the ladder to the ship so the captain can go aboard, and he helps dock it. The captain talks to the tugs by radio and tells them to slow down or go faster or turn right or left. The tugs respond by blowing one whistle, maybe two or three.
Come on, Billy, let's get a bow line out for the San Pedro, okay?
Brother slow.
And sometimes I get to throw the monkey fist on the ship. The San Pedro is a pretty high ship, and it just made it. You throw the small rope because the bigger rope is too heavy, and then they pull a little thicker rope. And after the thick rope, they pull a really thick rope. Well, the San Pedro is 690 feet. The ship is too big to get into a dock. It needs a tugboat to help get in. After we've docked the San Pedro, the captain comes back on the tug and takes charge again.
The funnest part of the job, I think, is being a deckhand. It's good, but you have to have experience to be whatever you want to be.
Well, that's another Sealander docked very nicely. Thanks to your help, I think we did a pretty good job. Don't you?
Yep.
You know what that makes me? Hungry. Will you go down the alley and put on a pot of coffee?
Yes.
Find me a muffin or something? Good boy. Thank you.
The captain sent me down here to get some coffee.
I'll take care of the captain's coffee, Bill. Will you pour a cup for Artie?
The cook is in charge of the galley. It's a tradition that he wears white.
Oh, that looks good.
Hi, Billy. Can I talk to you a minute?
Yeah.
Do you mind going below and taking some engine room gauge readings from me, please?
No, what do you mean? Pressure gauges?
That's right.
All right.
Thank you, Billy.
The engineer is in charge of the engine. It's his responsibility. And one of my jobs aboard is to take gauge readings for him. It's always noisy and hot because the engine is very powerful. I like to deckhand. I like to steer and control the ship. I like just being out in New York Harbor, docking ships from all over the world.
The palms go two lips together, tie them forever. Bring back my love to me. What is the meaning of all these flowers? They tell the story of love from me to you. My heart goes thumpa-de-yumpa, thumpa-de-yumpa, over the thought of you. You are my one and only. I love you passionately. This is the story of love from me to you. I saw the sky turning yellow, orange, and pink. Way up above the clouds, it's like a rainbow with all its colors. They tell the story of love from me to you. You gotta kick, open, side to side. 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 You gotta kick, open, side Ain't got no rainbow, ain't got no cellar door, but we'll be jolly friends forevermore. You gotta kick, open, side to side. You gotta kick, open, side to side. You gotta kick, open, side to side, to side. Well, then your band, your front door bell. Let it ring for a long, long spell. Peek through the window, peek through the blind. Ask that man what is on his mind. He said, money, honey, ooh-wee. He said, money, honey, ooh-wee. He said, money, honey, ooh-wee. If you wanna get along with me, if you wanna get along with me, you gotta kick, open, side to side. You gotta kick, open, side to side. My landlord rang your front door bell. Let it ring for a long, long spell. Peek through the windows, peek through the blinds. Ask that man what was on his mind. He said, money, honey, ooh-wee. He said, money, honey, ooh-wee. He said, money, honey, ooh-wee. If you wanna get along with me, if you wanna get along with me, you gotta kick, open, side to side. 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 You gotta kick. Cause you gotta have friends. La 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 la. Friends. La 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 la. Friends. I'm talking about friends. Oh, that's right. Friends. La 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 la. La 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 la. Gotta have Come on, give it a try. We're gonna show you just why. We're gonna teach you to fly high. Come on and zoom, come on and zoom, zoom. Come on and zoom, come on and zoom, zoom. Come on and zoom, come on and zoom, zoom.
This program was funded by grants from McDonald's Corporation and McDonald's Restaurants Fund, and by public television stations, the Ford Foundation, and the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
Presentation of Zoom was made possible in part by a grant from General Foods Corporation.